Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live with my man Level Up Sports 10 Mossberg. How you doing, bro?
Man, pretty good this evening, man. Can't call it enjoying an off day, man. Couldn't wait to get to the broadcast. Appreciate you having me as usual.
Yes, sir. Also, we got my man Zaya. How you feeling today, Zaya?
I'm good. How y'all fellas doing?
Pretty
I'm good,
good.
man. I'm good.
Good to see you.
I know you was
Thank you.
under the weather
Likewise,
last.
likewise.
I know you was under the weather last week, Zaya. You feeling a lot better?
Yeah, man. I'm finally feeling 100% me, man.
That's good, bro. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
good. That's good. Well, we got one game on right now, so we might as well jump on in it. We got Syracuse at number 19 Pitt. Pitt is favored by 5.5 in this game, and the over and under is 62.5. What's your thoughts on that one? Right
Um,
now, Pitt just got a pick six. They up 7-0.
it was crazy because I seen this and I had Pitt as my pick anyway. Just looking at it when we had did our picks last week, I picked Pitt. I just think their defense is different. I felt this was a week that they offense get rolling a lot more. They had a few injuries the last couple of weeks, but as they get healthy within, moving forward, I think it's going to benefit them. But in this game, I definitely don't think Syracuse have enough for them. And I had them with the over because I felt that it'd be a battle. Both of the teams do put points on the board with it being an ACC showdown. But I did have Pitt winning this, and I do have them winning by at least a touchdown in this one.
Yeah, man. I like the Syracuse in this game. I got the game on right now. Though. I'm watching it, but yeah, I'm just a Kyle McCord bias because he came from the Buckeyes, honestly. So I like to roll with him. I think he done been in big time games. I think he's the better quarterback. Also, I like to ride with the better quarterback, but they on the road. So I mean, when you go on the road, it's tough to win anyway. But I definitely had Syracuse before this game came on.
Yeah, I was depending on the Pitt's defense to pull this game out. When I seen Syracuse lose to UNLV, I figured they would have trouble against any good teams in the ACC, and I think Pitt's defense will win this game for them. As we seen earlier, they got a pick six, so I'm gonna go with Pitt in this game, and I think they're gonna cover that 5.5.
Okay, cool.
Next up, we got a game that I feel like is a super important game. Also, Level Up Sports 10 feels like this is a super important game. We want to see what our man Zaya got to say about this one. We got number 17 Boise State at UNLV. Boise State is favored by 3.5 points in this game, and the over and under is 64. Man, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, Vegas, they think it's gonna be a shootout. Uh, I like both of these teams. Both of these teams are good football teams. I think Boise State. I think them playing a slightly tougher schedule is gonna help them out in this game, though. Um, I think is the spread is about up the alley. 3.5. Anytime you see 3.5 spreads, anything under 5, it's usually typically a one possession game. So it's going to come down to whichever team can just make them plays at the right time. But I do like Boise State to continue on their what they on a 5-game win streak now. So I see Boise State pulling out at the end. What's his name? Genty gonna have another
Yeah.
large day. He's gonna probably go for about $1.75. It's hard to slow down that man. So I think he's definitely gonna still be the difference maker in the game.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, like Corso say. Not so fast, Isaiah. They got a quarterback that's been in the league in the college football terms for a while, and that's Williams in a transfer. I think he came to UNLV for a reason, and I think he felt the system coming from Campbell, where you look at him, he has over 9,000 passing yards. That shows that he's doing a job year in and year out. He's coming off of a career season at 2,600 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Up until this point this year, he has 838 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4 touchdowns rushing, 62-yarder being the longest with 61 rushes and 390 yards. So I think Malik, I think he's the difference maker in this game. I picked this a few weeks ago as my upset. I'm taking UNLV. They at home. They're going to put it all on the line. This is for a playoff berth. And the playoff playoff picks come out in a couple weeks. So with that being said, I think he's definitely the difference maker. And UNLV's defense, they're not known to be as physical. But in this game, I think they put 8 to 9 in the box, man up on the corners, and make Boise run the ball. But I'm going to take the under in this game. I'm going to take the under because I just think UNLV has a number for Boise State. And I think this is where Genty's Heisman run come to a halt, but it still continues with his rushing effort throughout the season, which I agree he's a great talent as well.
I'm also taking UNLV and the Brennan Marion go-go offense. I really believe that UNLV is going to be able to score enough points that's going to force Boise State, who doesn't like to throw the football, who don't throw the football very much.
Yeah.
Late in the game, they're going to have to throw the football because they're going to be down 2 scores. And I think that's going to take the ball out of their best playmaker's hand. That's Mr. Genty. And I believe that UNLV is going to pull out this game, man, by at least 3 points. I'm going to take the under in this game, but I do believe that UNLV is going to get the victory in this one. And both of those teams is playing for that spot for the non-Power 4 schools, the group of 5. They're playing for that spot in the 12-team playoff. So whoever wins this game is probably going to be the team that gets that slot. So it's going to it's a lot on the line in this game. A lot on the line.
Definitely.
Next up, we got number 12 Notre Dame at number 24 Navy. Notre Dame's favored by 12.5 in this game, and the over and under is 51. What's your thoughts on this one?
Upset alert. Upset alert. Yeah, hey, listen, man. We seen this with Notre Dame. A team that can run the football is a problem for them. Navy is going to be able to run that ball, bro. We seen it when they played Northern Illinois. I could see Navy pulling this game out. I'm definitely taking the spread, and I'm going under. It's not going to be a high-scoring game at all. It's 21-17, something like that. But, yeah, I got Navy. That's my upset alert.
No, when it comes to the spread, thinking about the spread and top teams with the spread, I think Notre Dame is one team this season that has literally killed the spread a couple of times when they had this big spread. I feel you on the upset alert. I got my upset pick this week. And Army and Navy got a game coming down the road. I think Army is the team more so that wants to go undefeated. So I think Navy, as great as they're playing, I just think Notre Dame gets this win, because if they lose this game, they definitely going to be looking at Freeman's job based on the way Notre Dame has been playing on this back nine of this season. So I'm going to take Notre Dame in this one. I'm going to take them in a close one. I don't think they're going to cover. I'm going to take Navy with the points, but I'm going to take Notre Dame with the win. And I'm going to take I'm going to go over. It might be a shootout when you run the ball. I think it's going to be some passing plays made, some things. So I'm going to just take the over just because of the fact you just don't know with this game. And they both can score some points.
Notre Dame at number 24 Navy.
It's tough.
They got Notre Dame favored by 12.5, and the over and under is 51. I definitely going to take the under in this game. And I'm going to pick Navy and the points. But I think Notre Dame's going to win the game, but I'm picking Navy and the points. Give me that 12 and a half
Yeah.
because I feel like Navy's going to control a lot of the game with that running attack, and they're going to cause Notre Dame some problems. And Notre Dame can really only run the ball. They're not a good passing team. So hopefully, Navy can take advantage of any opportunities that they get in this game and can keep it close. But I think Notre Dame's going to win the game, but I'm taking Navy in the points, and I'm taking the under. Next up, we got Oklahoma at number 18, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 20 and a half points, and the over and under is 48 and a half. When have we ever seen Oklahoma
20 and
getting
a half.
plus 20 and a half? Wow.
Man, that just proves that
Trent
they
Venables,
haven't been looking
this
good,
might be your
man.
last go.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
might be
they're
his
looking
last
good.
ride, man. Last hoorah. Damn, that's tough.
I like the spread. I think the spread is accurate. Oklahoma been looking bad the last couple of weeks. The defense is breaking apart. They didn't had to hold up so much of the team that it's just we're getting into the end of the year and they're just falling apart, man. It's hard to play non-complimentary football and it's one-sided. So, I expect Ole Miss to run the score up on them boys. In the over, too. No, I don't think Oklahoma might score enough points for it to be an over, honestly. So maybe they might squeak out 10 points. It might be right in the 30, 48 and a half. I could see the score being 38-10, honestly. It's like one of them games where you miss on a half a point if you pick the over. So, I just – Oklahoma, they just falling apart, man. So, Ole Miss, 20 and a half, take it.
I just like Oklahoma's defense. 20 and a half is a lot for Oklahoma, as tough as their defense is. I'm going to take Oklahoma with the points, but I'm going to have Ole Miss with the win. Yeah, you're right about that 48 and a half is tough. I just picked the over with Notre Dame and Navy. I'm going to take the over in this one as well. Because if anything, Ole Miss's offense can get going. And that could be a thing in this game. If it get out of hand, they can put up some points. But in the same sense, I'm going to take Oklahoma with the 20 and a half points. Ole Miss with the win.
Man, well, I mean, what's his name? Jackson Arnold is going to be starting this game for Oklahoma, but it ain't like he got no weapons to throw the ball to or got a weapon that he can hand the ball to. Their defense is good, but like Zaya said, man, they tired, man, of having to carry the team. They probably like, man, listen, this season is a wash. I ain't going to go out there and be playing all hard, man, and risk injury. I think they just going to let Ole Miss do what they want to do, man. And I got Ole Miss and the points, and I'm taking the over because I think Ole Miss can drop 45 on them.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to roll with that one. I just think Oklahoma's defense is like, man, listen, we're going to chalk this one up, man, and try to regroup for next year, try to get something out that portal. And see what we can do. But this year, they done. Next up, we got Washington at number 13, Indiana. Can Indiana keep it going? They're favored by 6.5 in this game, and the over and under is 53.5. What's your thoughts on that one?
Man, listen. I'm a fan of Indiana, bro. I think their coach, he done set a tone for the program. And when you got a leader that just exudes confidence and toughness, it go through your whole team, man. And he came to the media day before the season even started. And he was talking all types of crazy. And he checked my resume. Hey, and he backing it up. Like, Indiana's one of them teams, if it wasn't Indiana, I think they'd be higher in the rankings. Like, if they didn't have Indiana on their jersey, they'll be higher in the rankings to me. So, Yeah, they look like a problem, man. They definitely gonna exceed that 6.5. Washington ain't Washington this year, you know. Rehall, new coach. Yeah, they gonna put a beating on them boys and call out their name like, yeah, we here. So yeah, I like Indiana to cover the spread. I think that the game will be over because them boys put up points. I think Washington can get a couple touchdowns and roll off of some of that momentum from last week. So but yeah, I got this game being a 28-point game though. But yeah, I like Indiana.
Okay. with with Rourke being out, with the quarterback being out with the thumb surgery, they said probably November 2nd return. With Taven Jackson being a starter, true freshman, I got Indiana winning. I got them winning by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. But with that quarterback change, I'm going to take the under. With them being at home, I think their defense stands up. I think they still put some points up offensively. But with the quarterback being out, I think that 40-point streak may come to a halt, but they still get a big win at home and continue their undefeated season.
I like that young boy, man.
It's just, I don't know, Washington kind of tough.
The backup quarterback, I like him. I thought he played well last week.
Yeah, he played good. I just think that I think Washington is a different team. Washington is going to want to come into Indiana and try to blemish that record. So it's just not going to be as easy, but you're just going to see a different Taven Jackson than last week. You're going to see a little mature freshman. Yeah. That's what I would say, more so than a freshman that come out, do his thing like he did last week. Just a little more maturity, and you'll be able to get a better grade and look at him as well.
I can appreciate that.
Well, I'm sure they're probably going to run the ball a lot more than they normally would. And their running game is nice, though. Their running game is nice. And their defense is nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Indiana to win this game. I'm going to pick them to cover, too, because I think they can win by 7 points for sure. I'm going to take the under, though. I'm going to go under that 53.5. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm going to go with the under, man. I'm going to pick the under on this one.
And, I just don't trust Washington scoring that many points, if anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, too. Like, Washington going to score enough points. When you look at it, that's what, 28, 25? They'll give you 53.
Exactly.
No, we need Indiana to score in the 30s. High 30s at that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking at 45, 21.
Yeah, I could see that, especially with Washington probably getting some garbage touchdowns in the end after they're getting beat down.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm gonna still stay with the under, man. I'm gonna go with that.
Under enough points. Same here.
Next up, we got number 20 Illinois at number 1 Oregon.
21.
Oregon is favored by 21.5 points, and the over and under is 54.5. What's your thoughts on that?
Oregon.
Well, it's in Eugene, and them boys. Well, we seen what my Buckeyes did in Eugene. It's a problem playing there, So I don't know though. I like Illinois, man. These spreads is getting trickier and trickier as the week goes. I tell you that though. But 54 points. We're looking at a score. I would probably go over on the spread, just because I think both teams is going to bring their heart to the game. Illinois want to continue to rise in the rankings. Oregon going to keep on playing hard because they want to keep that number 1 ranking. But we've seen this year it's not good to be number 1. Number 1s lose. So that 21.5 is kind of tricky. In one way, you'd be like, oh, what Oregon team are we going to get? We're going to get the game against the Buckeyes, or are we going to get the Idaho Oregon? If we get a certain team, the outcome of each side can be different in this game. But I'm gonna think that we're gonna get an Oregon team that got a chip on their shoulders. this week. I don't like the 21.5 though. I could see this being a two possession game, one possession game late. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go against the spread. I'm gonna give Illinois the points. I'd probably go over though. Over on the 54.5. Yeah.
For me, this is a tough pick. It's a tough pick because if Illinois win this game, they tie it up for number one in the Big Ten. Depending on how the chips fall this week, the Big Ten could be at a 3 to 4 way tie.
Yeah.
And this game has a lot of clarity in the Big Ten, as well as another game coming up. And I'm taking Illinois with the points. Illinois is a tough team. The way Oregon played at Purdue last week, even though they're coming home, I think Illinois is somewhat of a test because of just the way that they play, the style of offense, and how they fly around defensively at times. You just don't know what you're going to get. I'm going to go under with the points. I just think this is going to be one of them games that we seen, not quite like Ohio State, but another Big Ten banger. And I think it's going to come down possibly to which quarterback plays the best game. That's just how it's going to be. I think a lot of games with the Big Ten going to come down to quarterback play, but this one definitely with Altmaier playing great this year, as well as Dylan Gabriel in the Heisman race. But I got Oregon winning, but Illinois with the points and under.
Hey, do we know the kickoff time for this game?
I think this is the 3:30 kickoff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 3:30 kick. I agree with y'all on that spread. I don't think that Oregon is going to cover the spread. I believe Oregon is going to win the game, but I don't think they're going to cover that 21.5. I'm taking the over. But what I'm hoping is that we get to see the Illinois that played Nebraska and the Illinois that played Kansas, not the Illinois that played Purdue.
Right.
Definitely not the Illinois that played Purdue that gave up 49 points and took a 50-49 win that night. We need the Illinois that played against Nebraska and the Illinois that played against Kansas in this game. And I think they got enough talent to do it. I don't think Oregon is going to fall asleep on this team, but I believe they're going to beat them. But I don't think they're going to cover that 21.5.
Agree.
This next game, man, is a shocker to me, and I know it's going to be a shocker to y'all. Number 11 BYU at UCF. UCF is 3-4, and they're favored in this game by 1.5 points.
Wow.
And the over-under is 55.5.
Wow.
What are they doing?
Man, what are the
That's crazy.
This one got me going like
Y'all think they know something we don't know?
They
gotta
tripping
be
with this
man.
one. 1.5 to UCF. Is it because they're at home? Is it because of BYU? Last week, I don't know what this one is.
Man, listen, I jumped on it as soon as I seen it, man.
I'm going with BYU. I'm sticking with them. Give me BYU by a field goal, and I'm taking it over because they must think this is going to be a shootout like the Purdue-Illinois game. They got to think it. This is insane. Wow.
Yeah, man, I like BYU by a field goal and a touchdown. I don't know what's up with that spread, bro, but
upset.
we done watched both teams all year. Like, you know what I mean? So, is it because BYU ain't at home? Is it because they ain't in Utah? Like, I don't know, man. I really didn't get the spread when I seen it either, man. But I'm taking the under too, man. I don't think they getting 55.5 between each other. Maybe 30 to 20.
I mean, UCF started the season 3-0, bro. It was 3-0. Now they're 3-4, which means they already lost some games at home. at least one at home they done lost already, right?
Yeah.
And you think a number 11 undefeated BYU team who runs the ball, got a physical defense, ain't gonna beat UCF?
They crazy,
They
man.
giving away money right here, right? They just saying, okay, this is a gift for everybody. Christmas coming up. We want y'all to get y'all kids some toys. We want y'all to buy them clothes. Here's an opportunity for you to get your Christmas money.
Get your Christmas. That's it.
Get your Christmas money on this game right here. That's they tripping.
The house
I
on
got
it.
BYU by at least 7. And I'm taking
Yeah.
the under on that too. I'm taking the under on that.
Crazy.
They tripping. now watch UCF win this game. And we're gonna be
Man.
like, they
I'm
did something we
sitting
didn't
here
know.
like, man, wow, what did I have? 55.
Blasphemous.
All right, we got another game now. This game coming up right here. Listen, the loser of this game, man, listen, their fan bases is going to be PO'd.
Oh,
We got 21 Missouri at number 15 Alabama. Alabama is favored by 16 and a half. The over and under is 51 and a half. Now, the way Alabama been playing lately, man, I don't know how they favored by no 16 and a half, bro.
that's what I'm saying. Oh, man.
Hey, I told y'all these spreads is getting trickier and trickier.
Tricky.
Man, it's wild. This is a wild one because Alabama just haven't looked like Alabama. Then you got I'm going with Alabama. Give me Missouri in the points. And I'm going to go over because this is an SEC game. No defense going to be played. They're going to be putting up points. But I got Alabama winning possibly by at least, I'm going to take 10. I can't give them 16 and a half. They haven't won by that much since, I think, like the third game of the season. And that was against South Florida. And they won that in the second half. So, yeah, Mississippi with the points, Alabama on the way.
Yeah, I like Alabama in this game.
Missouri.
I like them to cover the spread too, though. Man, I'm just not a fan of Missouri. They ain't really played nobody. When they did, they didn't look good. So, and it's definitely going to be a high-scoring game because neither one of these defenses is impressive. So, it's going to be a shootout. One of these two of these overhyped SEC teams that probably should be even lower in the rankings. Missouri probably shouldn't be ranked, and Bama should probably be ranked lower. So, yeah, that's just my take on it.
I got Alabama winning this game. I don't have them covering that 16 and a half. I can see them winning by 10.
Yeah.
I can't give them the 16 and a half because like you said, Isaiah, their defenses are horrible, both of them. And Missouri has enough offense with those wide receivers that they could put up some points. And we know Milroe and the boys going to put up some points.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over, that 51 and a half, but I'm taking Missouri and the points. Even though Alabama's going to win the game, I'm taking Missouri and the points.
Yep.
Next up, we got Florida State at number 6, Miami. Miami's favored by 20 and a half points, but the over and under is 54 and a half. Can Florida State be the spoiler?
Nigga City League. Oh man.
I'm big on my Seminoles. I know how our season has been when it comes to this game here. I'm taking my Seminoles for the win, and I'm taking us with them points, and I'm going under. I don't know. That's a lot of points to give us in a rivalry game, and I just think we're gonna at least come out and fight. And I feel we had opportunities against Clemson, whereas this game with Miami is more of a rivalry than that Clemson game where you got players that's played since high school, childhood. Of any game, this is like, of course, a Michigan, Ohio State. They get up and they play. So I just don't think we're going to let them win by 20 points. So I'm going to take us on a win, parlay Poe, Kev, everybody, and I'm gonna take the under. Because I'm a diehard Seminoles fan. I'm gonna still stick with my boys to the end.
Yeah, man, it's a in-state rivalry, man. I think Florida State gonna come play, bro, and really Miami act like they want to give a game up anyway. So I'm not too confident in them just rolling in and just blowing them out. Uh, when it's an in-state rivalry, dudes play a little extra harder. So uh, I see Florida State covering the spread. Give me that 20.5 all day. Uh, and I don't think this is just going to be no shootout either. Out of the 54.5, it's just going to be a real highly emotional game. You know what I mean? This a recruiting day too for Miami. So y'all recruiting the same players. Dudes is gonna come show. They gonna show up to play. It ain't like this Florida State team ain't got talent on their team though. One of the things I feel like with a lot of teams is if you miss on your quarterback, it can just set you back. And I think they missed on the quarterback. It's talent around there. It just the quarterback room ain't what it need to be. It's dudes though on both sides of the ball. So they'll show up though. They'll show up. I don't think it's just gonna be an embarrassment. So I expect them dudes to come play.
I'm definitely taking Florida State and the points in this game. Miami's gonna win it, but I'm taking Florida State in them points. I don't see Miami beating them by 20.5. It's going to be an emotional game. It's the Battle of Florida. And I believe that Miami's defense is trashy enough that Florida State is going to be able to score some points. And I think Florida State's defense is good enough that, they can slow Cam Ward down a little bit. But I'm picking Miami to win, but I'm taking Florida State in the points. And I'm going to go over that 54.5. I think they're going to beat that mark. Next up, we got number 3 Penn State at Wisconsin. Penn State's only favored by 6.5 in this game. And the over and under is 47.5.
Thank you.
What's your thoughts on that one?
Hey, I think it's going to be a classic Big Ten game. Just teams like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Penn State is just like a upper echelon team. Like the Michigan, these teams are always predicated around good defense and running the ball. I think Wisconsin will be able to run the ball a bit. I do not think Penn State is going to go in there though and just smash on these boys. I think the spread, Vegas got the spread. They always want to get you right in between the middle of the line where it could go either way. That's how they win their money. So the 6.5 is a good spread. I see Penn State winning this game, maybe by like a touchdown in the field goal, maybe 9. I could see something like 28-19. They're not touching the 47.5 though. This is a classic Big Ten game. Well, they could touch 47.5. That's only 20. That's what 25, 20. Yeah, that's 20. So yeah, they should go over the game, over the spread, maybe by a few points. But yeah, this is a classic Big Ten game in my opinion. It's not going to be high scoring and a lot of offense. It's a lot of defense and a lot of running the ball.
This is actually a tough test for Penn State. I think before the Ohio State game, I think they got to be careful with Wisconsin. At home, this late in the season, Wisconsin is known to knock off undefeateds at home. One of the toughest places to play. But the difference maker for me in this one is seeing Penn State go to Southern Cal and get a win and and fight and just claw back into that, take it to overtime and get that win. That's the reason I'm taking Penn State. And that linebacker university, I've seen them with my eyes. They make the difference in this game with the pressure and the way that they step up defensively as well. But I'm gonna go with the over in this one. I think both teams definitely have quarterbacks and a decent enough run game, more so on Penn State side than Wisconsin to get the points in this one. So I could see both of them scoring at least 20 or Penn State scoring 30, if not 40, and taking a route in this game as well.
Man, this is a tough one, man.
It's
Because
tough.
you always think that maybe Wisconsin got one in them, one upset in them, and the crowd jumping around in the fourth quarter doing their thing. But it ain't gonna happen today. I got Penn State with the win, covering that 6.5, and I'm gonna take the under, man. For some reason, I think this game is gonna be 24-17. I don't know why I think that, but I think it's gonna be 24-17. Before we go to the next game, man, I'm looking at this Syracuse and Pitt game.
It got ugly.
Tearing them up.
Pitt's winning 17-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've only ran 8 plays, and they only got 16 yards total offense, but they got 17 points. They got more points than they got yards, bro.
Lord, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
Damn.
That is nuts.
That
I tried to
defense-
roll with my
Wow.
boy Kyle McCord.
Man, I told people, man, their defense is crazy. And then my boy,
Yeah, Pitt's defense
That's-
is nice.
Rasheem, that's the hometown. He got that pick 6.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one from
Okay,
here.
I see.
He got the pick 6.
Yeah.
They got 2 of them. 2
Cool,
interceptions. It's crazy.
All right, next up. Well, I messed that up, man. Dang. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. We got number 8 LSU at number 14 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 in this game, and the over and under is 53.5. What's your thoughts on that one?
Whoo. SEC. I picked
I
I like that.
Go ahead, City League.
I like LSU in this one. I love them. I've been talking about them for the past few weeks. They remind me of that Alabama team that got into the playoff last year, just winning games. And in this game, they're actually playing for first place in the SEC. I know Texas A&M is at home. I got LSU in this one, and I'm gonna take the over because I just feel like in that SEC, these thrillers, these late games, these late night evening games, has been some thrillers, and they definitely come down to a lot of points. And I definitely got the over in this one with LSU winning this game as well.
Yeah, this game could go either way, in my opinion. Just because everybody knows what's on the line, we know what's on the line. I'm gonna have to stick with my pick. As much as I like LSU right now, man, I gotta stick with my pick, and it's Texas A&M. They covered the spread 2.5. That's a field goal. I think home field advantage play a key for them, and just being steady, man. They've been steady. So, man, it killed me to go against Nussmeier though, because in my opinion, out of all the quarterbacks in the draft, I think he is the most slept on one. I think that dude is a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. So it's hard to pick against the better quarterback in big games like this, but I'm gonna stick with my pick, and I see Texas A&M winning, and that should set them up for future success to hopefully make that SEC championship game.
Man, this you're right, man. This is a tough one to pick because it can go either way. And man, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M only because they are home. Only because they are home, and that 12th man is something different in that stadium. I think they have enough 5 stars still left on their roster that they could give Nussmeier some issues in the
Yeah,
passing game. Even though LSU's defense has gotten a lot better since they played USC.
yeah, much better.
I'm gonna
Much
go
better.
with A&M to cover. I think they're gonna win by 3. And I'm gonna take the over that 53.5. But man, this is probably gonna be the best game of
Yeah,
the weekend.
of the week by
This
far.
game right here.
Facts.
Yeah. Next up, we got number 5 Texas at number 25 Vanderbilt. Texas is favored by 18.5 points, and the over and under is 51.5. Man, what's your thoughts on that one?
I'm not hopping on the Vandy bandwagon, dog. I know they got that win against Alabama, but how impressive was that now that we really know what Alabama is? Texas is still, in my opinion, the top 3 team in college football. I know they lost, but one thing they showed me last week, and I know I wasn't able to get on stream, I was under the weather, but I've been wanting to say this. They still played hard. They played they tails off. They just didn't execute. And that shows me they're still a championship level team. When you get in these big games, top opponents, ranked on ranked, you have to execute. So I think they learn from their mistakes, and I think they go out there and they execute. I think they cover that spread, 18.5. I could see them winning, what 51? I could see them winning 37-21 or something, or 20. Oh, no. Well, I don't know. The spread is tricky, bro. 18.5, they got to win by 3, but yeah, I don't know what I would bet on the spread. Over or under. 37-20 sound more right. That's the first number that came. So I probably, but I could see them coming out and really executing and working on full week of practice, working on the things that they didn't do well. One more thing. What I was real confused about with Texas last week is they kind of got away from their offense, in my opinion, last week. Once they start heavy motioning, dinking and dunking, they start looking like themselves more towards the end of that ball game last week. So Sark, he gonna get them boys right. They need to just stick to their game plan and their bread and butter, and they'll be fine. And I can see them getting back on track this week.
I like what you said about Texas. Even with the loss, I still feel Texas is a great team. One thing we got to realize is this Vandy team has nothing to lose. They're now in the top 25. They're at home. I have Texas winning this game by at least a couple touchdowns and a field goal. 18.5 is tough this late in the season. Being at home in the SEC, especially a team like Vandy. But I do have Texas winning, but I'm going to take Vandy in the points. And I'm going to go under. I just feel like just last week, I think in this game with Vandy being at home, the mistakes that some may have looked at being made last week, I think get corrected. And like I said, I think with Arch coming in last week made a difference in the way he played throughout the game after. But I think he goes and look at that film every day last week, coming into this week to see what he could have done better and correct those mistakes for Texas to get the win and get right back on track for that SEC championship and playoff berth as well.
Hey, Big Rob, another question too. What's the status on Isaiah Bond?
He's day to day. I think they're gonna probably hold him out of this game because they're gonna need him for. I think we got a bye after this, so I think they're probably gonna hold him out of this game, and so he'll be at full strength by the time we go into the end of our season. We got some tough games down the stretch against some very good defenses, so we gotta make sure he out there. So I think they're gonna sit him this game.
Yeah.
You think he gonna be like a dress and use in case, or like he just being street?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. He gonna have his uniform on because he gonna want to have his uniform on. He gonna
Yeah,
he gonna do everything he can to play. He
yeah.
gonna do everything he can to play,
He's a
and they're
tough
gonna have
kid.
him dressed and ready to go if they need be. Because right now we really down to 4 wide receivers really, because Jonte Cook hasn't been getting any run. I don't know. He done got himself in the doghouse somehow. I guess once he dropped that bomb against Mississippi State, he really hasn't played much since then. He played 4 plays the game after that against Oklahoma, and then he didn't play at all last week against Georgia. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully he can get himself out that doghouse because he's a very good wide receiver. I just don't know what's going on with him. But I'm taking Texas in this game, and I'm taking them to cover simply because everything that Texas wants to do and that Texas does well, Vanderbilt defensively, they're not good in that area. For one, they keep their safeties back deep, and Texas like to throw them quick screens and shorts and quick crosses in the run and RPO game, and they want to run the football this game. They trying to get that running game together, and this is where
right.
they're gonna start to do it at. And defensively, Texas strong suit is what Vanderbilt want to do. Vanderbilt want to run the ball a lot, a
Stop
lot.
it.
They don't throw the ball very often. And Texas defensive ends, man, if they go with um, Baron Sorrell and Ethan Burke, those 2 guys, man, they step to run. And then you
Yeah,
got those big guys in the middle. And you got linebackers that can go from sideline to sideline. So everything that Vanderbilt wants to do offensively, Texas is the bomb defensively when it comes to that. So I think that's going to be the difference in the game. They're going to smother Vanderbilt, and I think they're going to cover that 18 and a half. And I'm thinking this game going to be like 35-10.
mm.
So I'm going to go with the under on that. I'm going to go with the under. Last one we got number 4 Nebraska. I mean, not number 4 Nebraska. What? Nebraska ain't ranked. Nebraska at number 4 Ohio State. Ohio State is favored by 25 and a half in this game, and the over and under is 48 and a half. We're
Damn.
going to let you go last, Zay, since them your boys. I'm going to go ahead and jump out first. Man, listen, Ohio State got a taste in their mouth right now that they going to do it and spit it out on Nebraska. They're
Yeah,
going to thump Nebraska, man. They're going to thump them. One of my homies, he had 2 tickets to this game, man. And he decided he don't even want to go to the game because he don't even think it's going to be a game.
wow.
So he's not going. He thought that when he got the tickets that it was going to be a banger. It's not going to be a banger. Ohio State going to thump them. And I think Ohio State's going to show something defensively with one of their blitz packages because they're going to get away from that just rushing 4. And they're going to be all over Dylan Raiola and those Nebraska Cornhuskers. So I'm taking the Bucks. I'm taking them to cover that 25 and a half. And I'm picking the over because I think they're going to score 48 themselves.
Ooh. Man, that 25 and a half is tough because last time the Bucks, they didn't cover something this high. When they played, I think it was Michigan State when they had that high point. Oh, man, this is tough. I got Ohio State winning, of course. I got them winning. I'm going to take Nebraska in the points. I'm going to take Nebraska in the points. Just on the fact that I just don't trust Ohio State with them points that high. That's it. Other than that, Buckeyes win flat out in the blowout, but it might not be by 25. It might be by 24.
Hey man,
So,
listen.
the points.
I had to do. I noticed what the problem is with our defense. It's not a personnel issue. I think everybody really played pretty good, other than Denzel Burke, and even Denzel Burke, he didn't even play bad. They literally threw the ball to his side 3 times in the game, and all 3 times he got beat. One was the fade in the touchdown that was a perfect ball, and the other 2 was double moves, where one of them, he was in position. He was supposed to have a top-high safety, so it really wasn't on him. It just looked like it was him. And when you watch the film, you could tell it was. Problem we do have, we do not rotate players. Game. Front, them boys out maybe, 90% of the game. Linebackers, I still don't think we put the right personnel on the field at times. So with all that being said, I just wanted to point out some of the weaknesses I did see. My offense played great. I'm not worried about the offense at all. The spread is tricky because Nebraska has talent, but I think their quarterback being in a freshman year slump right now will probably exceed that spread. So I could see the game being somewhere like 41-17, Ohio State. That's right at the spread, really. So, I mean, 41-17, yeah, what was that? 26? What is that? 24? So, maybe I would take the points with Nebraska. But, yeah, we definitely got some stuff to get up off our chest with this game. So I expect them Silver Bullets to be running around. But we definitely got some stuff to clean up if we expect to be in the national championship race. It's just, it is what it is. Ryan Day, he just need to figure out what the issue is. And like I said, what I think it is, I think we need to rotate. We got too much talent on that team for our team to be lacking in effort. Them boys is tired at the end of the game. We just got too much talent, man. You got to rotate guys. But when I watch Georgia's and Texas and Alabama's, you know what I mean? These teams of the world, they rotate. They don't just play their main 11 guys for a whole unit. They rotate multiple people. Like I'm watching Alabama. I'm watching Georgia, Texas. I see Georgia rotating defensive linemen like nothing all last week. And when they got to the end of the game, their guys were fresh. That matters, bro. So if we don't clean that up, it's going to be a problem. So I'm real interested to see. I know we're going to win this game. The spread, like I said, is tricky. It's right at that cutoff line where I think we're going to win. But I want to see what the coaching staff does, because coaching matters, bro. So coaching, you talking about teams that got comparable talent. When you get to the playoffs and you get to these conference championship games, you got to have an edge somewhere, and it comes from coaching. So I'm real interested to see if we start rotating guys, or what we do. You know, do we bring new looks on defense? You know, so yeah, Ohio State. I'm taking the over, but I'm going against the spread. Yeah, I think it's going to be 41-17.
Okay. Last question before we end the stream. What teams have the most to lose if they lose this week?
Wow.
What teams have the most to lose if they lose this week?
I want to say the Buckeyes, but I'm a second thought that, and I'm gonna go with Boise State. Reason I say Boise State, well, you say teams. I'm gonna say Boise State and Ohio State. Reason I say Boise State is if Boise State lose, that's everything when it comes to the Heisman, when it comes to Genty. They're going to talk about everything. You know, do they even need to be in that position of being looked at and being a playoff? You know, the whole nine. And then let's just say something happens at Ohio State. They're going to be asking about the coaching instantly. And they just coming off of a bye week. And the game is not as big, like you said, as it should be or is expected to be. But we never know how the college football season has been going. Anything can happen. any given Saturday. So I just think those two teams, just knowing how much a loss would hurt those team seasons at this point.
I got two choices for you too, City League and Rob. My first team is Notre Dame. One thing I don't understand about Notre Dame is these dudes got the most money out of anybody. Bro, if you lose this game to a Navy team that, yeah, they undefeated, but nobody really expecting them to do nothing, you know? You got all this money, you got the prestige. Bro, you got to go out there and you got to win, bro. And you got to win for real. Honestly, you supposed to win all your games. You win all in the college football playoff. So, I mean, we know Marcus Freeman, he on the hot seat too. If he lose another game, he on the hot seat for real. He need to be sweating. And the other team I'm gonna go with is who was it? Oregon. I mean, y'all had a big win against Ohio State. But man, if y'all lose, let's say y'all lose to Illinois, y'all go and shit. Are we expecting enough to put you in? Are we sure? Because honestly, why not take two non-Power 5 teams if you think it's too good enough to get in? Depending upon what happened in the SEC too. Because the SEC could have a conference champion that got one loss or two losses. So, I mean, it's everything is getting tough and tricky for real. So, them the two main teams. The number one team, you lose that game at home, and I know Eugene is a hard place to play. You might end up the season with two losses, and then where you at now? We just don't know because Indiana still might be undefeated. Penn State could possibly still be undefeated. You might just drop out of the playoff race. So, they're my two teams.
I'm definitely saying Notre Dame too. If Notre Dame lose, man, their chances of getting into that 12-team playoff, being a team that's not in the conference, that's not going to have a chance to win a conference championship to get in, they put themselves in trouble if they lose this game. And the other one I got Missouri, the loser of the Missouri-Alabama game, they can cancel Christmas on any thoughts of even trying to get into the SEC championship game. It's probably already a foregone conclusion that they're not getting in. But if whoever loses this game, they definitely not getting in. And then LSU and Texas A&M. This will be the loser. This will be their first loss in the SEC. And both of them have a couple of juggernauts that they got to play in this conference, man. And I think that the loser of this one put themselves in a bad position to have an opportunity to play in that SEC championship game. So those are the three teams that I think, well, that's more than three. But the loser of those games, man, they in some trouble.
Agree.
All right, fellas. Well, I think that was a pretty good show, man. We covered a lot. We'll be back on again doing college football on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So if you're able to make it, please do. We'll go over the 12-team playoff after week 8 games and the rankings. There's a lot of shakeups in there. So it's going to be interesting to see who we think is going to win these games because the matchups are going to be totally different than any of the matchups we had in the first 7 weeks. So hopefully we all three can make it to that one. And without anything else to say, if y'all got anything else to add, you can.
Good, man. Just make sure you like and subscribe. Tune in.
Facts.
For sure.
Hey, it was fun being back on here conversating and politicking with y'all, man.
Good to have you back as well.
We're glad to see you healthy again, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.